we'll be showing a graph of the number of disconnections each month by area provided by PREPA. The legend on the right of the graph shows which colors represent each area. So from the top to bottom, we have Ponce, Metro, Mayagüez, Caguas, Bayamón, and Arecibo. There has been a moratorium on disconnection since the middle of March 2020, which is why the past 8 months of data are zeros. Next, we're going to be showing a graph of the number of customers on extended payment plans, and this is separated into 3 customer classes. You can see that the large majority of customers on extended payment plans are residential, and that the total has been decreasing since early 2020. And of the approximately 40,000 customers on extended payment plans, some of them are defaulting and others are completing. So here are 2 graphs side by side that shows this information by customer class. Our next customer service graph is related to PREPA's days sales outstanding for general customers. On an average for the past 18 months, this has been 116 days. Lastly, we'll be showing data about PREPA's renewables and demand-side management programs. This is a graph of the monthly generation from PREPA's RPS, Renewable Portfolio Standard, eligible PPOAs. Pattern Santa Isabel in blue at the bottom is a wind farm, and Oriana Energy is in gold in the middle and is a solar farm. And those 2 seem to be the largest sources of PREPA's renewable generation from PPOAs over the past 18 months. This next graph shows PREPA's RPS eligible capacity in megawatts. It has been fairly constant over the past 18 months, except for 3 months last winter, where you can see that PREPA reported no operational RPS capacity. And our last graph for today shows PREPA's reported energy efficiency savings. The most recent version of the data that PREPA provided to us in December of 2020 only provided these savings annually, which is why you'll only see data in the months of June for 2019 and 2020. However, we'll note that there is an ongoing rulemaking docket for energy efficiency, and that may change. The results from that docket may change how information about energy efficiency will be provided in the future. And with that, that is the end of our presentation, and we'd be happy to take some questions. Thank you.
If anybody has questions, please raise your hand. Okay. Trying to see, I'm having technical difficulty in seeing whose hand that is that's up. Mario Hurtado. Please go ahead with your question.
Hi, yes, Mario Hurtado with Luma. I had a question just in terms of the data from Hawaii Electric Company. Is that consolidated for all of HECO, or is that one of, because my understanding is they have 2 operating utilities. So just a clarification on that.
Oh, thank you for asking that question, Mario. It actually is just for HECO, because you're absolutely right. If you include HELCO and MECO, it sort of we didn't include the Maui Electric Company or the Big Island Hawaiian Electric Company because it would just it would be too complicated. So yes, it is just Oahu.
Okay. We have a second question, and please forgive me if I butcher names. I'm going to try to do my very best here. Shahale Rosado, Flores.
Yes, good morning. I'm Shahai Rosado. I'm the PREPA head of the occupational safety. I just another question in the same line like Cortez. So all the data, we send the data of the.
I think we lost you. Could you repeat your question? Are you there? Okay, I think we'll move on to the next question. And when you reestablish service, because I guess you lost service for a moment, we'll take your question.
Can you hear me?
Oh, no, go ahead. Please go ahead. We didn't hear you. Please start over.
Okay, so I just want to be clear with that question that I'm with the same line like Cortez. So is we compare the company or the whole company? Is no breakdown like transmission, distribution, customer service, or only generation? Because we send all the data like one company all around. It's not divided.
Yes. So thank you for the question. When we did the comparison, we did the comparison against the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the sort of all electric utilities, including generation and T&D.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you for the question.
Our next question is from Don Cortez.
Thank you. This is Don Cortez with Luma Energy. And my question is for Max. Max, on SAIDI, how did you arrive at 112 for SAIDI? Because I looked it up and my calculation came up to 175 for the last year. So I was curious to see how you arrived at 112.
The 112 came from the IEEE reliability, the IEEE reliability benchmark survey. The data that we have was for 2018, and we didn't use the entire survey. We only used the data from electric utilities over 1 million customers.
And was that like any quartile in particular?
I believe, subject to check, I believe that was for the entire year, and that may have been I think that was the median value, but I can double check.
Yes, I mean, it'd be interesting to know because the benchmark I'm familiar with from IEEE has the utilities broken down into quartiles. You know, first quartile all the way to fourth quartile.
Yes.
And then when you used it for calculating the HECO one, did you use the latest year or did you go back several years and average that?
I believe we just used the latest year.
Okay, and that was for both SAIDI and SAIFI?
That's correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Our next question is from Daniel Hernandez.
Good morning to all. This is Daniel Hernandez. I'm the Generation Director for PREPA. I think my question is for Max. Max, good morning. I didn't saw in your presentation any data regarding the capacity factor of the Hawaii Electrical Company on your presentation. Do you have that data? Because for us, it's very important to understand the behavior in Puerto Rico on the renewables against other utilities.
That's a great question. I don't think we looked at the capacity factors of the HECO generation units.
Okay, so do you think it's possible to get that data and discuss with us the behavior of those installations?
I certainly we could have that discussion, and it might be useful for comparison. I think the HECO. We can double check on that one, just for the availability of that information. I think HECO may have just finished a rate case, so that information may be out. We were generally using the sort of metrics that HECO provides on their website, and sort of consistent with some of the Hawaii Public Utilities Commission's sort of performance metrics. But yes, we could definitely have that conversation about specific capacity factors for the HECO units.
Yeah, we in PREPA we are monitoring the capacity factor on each PPOAs, and the average right now is around 20% only. So it's very important for us to understand the behavior. Okay, thank you.
Thank you for the question. We're going to go ahead with Mr. Donald Hall.
Good morning, commissioners. Good morning, everyone. My name is Donald Hall. I'm with LUMA. And I noticed on the SAIDI and safety slides, the title said transmission and distribution, but I believe the numbers are only for distribution. Is that correct?
That's correct. Actually, the transmission distribution were the categories of reporting, but you're absolutely right that the SAIDI and safety values are distribution only.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, Miguel Irizarry.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Could we go back a couple of slides to the slide that shows the amount of RPS eligible renewable generation by month? I think that there was one slide that showed a gap in data for some months. Yes. I mean, that data for December, January, and February should have been provided. So we have to look at the data that was provided to you, but it is available, and at least from our end, it was provided by the Planning and Research Division. Should be the same values as November through March, April, as no additional utility scale renewable energy project has come online.
Okay, it's quite possible that the dashboard workbooks that we provided to you and the ones that you provided back to us, there may have been a line that may have been transposed, but thank you for pointing that out.
Sure.
Thank you. Shehali Rosado has another question.
Yes, just for confirm, we about the safety. I'm focusing safety on the safety indicator for the incident rate and DART, LTC. So those indicators we normally use all the companies. So is something helpful for you guys? I can send all the breakdown. So I can send T&D and customer service only those indicators because we collect that data. We already about 2 years ago, very accurate. So that thing we can do that because I think it's not fair to compare with the HECO. So because we have more employees, we have more man hours. So that affecting our indicators in safety. I just want to know, tell you guys, I can send that information if you need it.
Thank you for that offer. We realized that the order, the May order that came out in 2019 just asked for safety recordables. We didn't ask for a breakdown at that point, but more information subject to what the Bureau would like to see would always be better. So we appreciate that. And we do want to note that the hours are sort of adjusted for 100 man hours per year. So in a way, the larger manpower size should be reflected in that rate. But thank you for that clarification.
Thank you.
Any additional questions that attendants may have? Mr. Hurtado, you can go ahead.
Hi, yes, Mario Hurtado from Luma. I had a question on the system level availability, and then I guess it was a system level availability. If we could go to that slide. Right, I think it was either on this one or on the next one, Max. You said that you used that you calculated based on the number of units not available. I just wanted to clarify if that was the calculation, if you used the calculation of, if you aggregated all of the megawatts and then looked at availability of all the megawatts for all the hours, or you actually did it, or if that was just a, if you maybe misspoke on that, because it, or you did it based on, or you averaged the availability of by unit. Because it was a little unclear to me in the way you stated it. I was just trying to get clarified.
Yeah, no, thank you for the question. I may have misspoke. We actually didn't do any calculations directly ourselves. This is information that PREPA provided to us for the percentages by month.
So is the availability based on total megawatts available, or is it an average of units? That's what I was trying to get at.
I would have to double check the back calculations. I just don't remember off the top of my head at the moment.
Okay.
I saw that someone had raised their hand. Oh yeah, Jessica Laird.
Good morning. This is Jessica Laird with Luma Energy, leading the customer service division. I'm just wondering how the average speed of answer measurement was derived. My understanding is there's currently 3 contact centers within PREPA, and I'm just wondering how the average was come about.
Let's see, the app, I believe that is that would be a request to PREPA. These were the numbers that were reported to us by PREPA. So I wish I could give you a better answer, but those were the numbers that we were given.
Thank you, Mr. Jose Sepulveda.
Thank you. Morning, everyone. My question is in terms of SETI and safety metrics. Actually, when we report those metrics, we also report the reason why are those metrics in terms of what's what's going on at the field and what should be measured. Do you think is good to report that? I mean, in terms of what the other utilities do nationwide, in terms of vegetation management, or is it a defective equipment or something? So that sort of things.
Let me, I guess, just to make sure I heard your question properly, is your question is your question that PREPA would be willing to provide more detail to the drivers for SAIDI and SAFE? Is that your sort of question comment?
Yes, right now, when we do a monthly reports to our governing board that actually gives information about what are the issues that actually are putting those indexes as they are right now. And we have that information monthly. No
Okay, I see. So when you report the SAIDI and SAFE information to the governing board, you're also including, so the component of SAIDI and SAFE would be minutes of outages associated with trees, sort of outages associated with sort of accidents, outages associated with equipment failure. That information, sort of from my personal experience at looking at other utilities, that information is actually very useful. So that's something to definitely consider. And if you have that information, that's great. That's great to have that sort of detailed information as to the causes for particular outages at a given time period.
That's right. We have the outages and we divide it by percentage. What I report to the governing board is from the total outages that we had monthly, this percentage is due to tree management, vegetation management. This percentage is due to defective, deteriorated equipment. The other is by bad weather. This percentage is by human interference or somehow, and others. It's like 5 or 6 different categories. We report that every month.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Is that information, sorry to ask some more questions, is that information also at the municipal level?
No, not at that level.
Okay, so it's just at the system level.
Yeah.
Great, thank you for that clarification.
All right.
Any additional questions? Mr. Hurtado.
Hi, yes, Mario Hurtado from Luma. I had a question on the RPS eligible megawatts. I just wanted to clarify the nomenclature that you're using. If you could go to that slide. Thanks. What do you mean by contracted, not operational? And then operational, I just wanted to clarify what you're defining there.
I believe that one is, there are a number of facilities that, that there are existing contracts, but they haven't been constructed. So it's sort of that capacity that's reflected in that light green bar, whereas the operational RPS capacity are those renewable projects that are actually operational. In other words, actually generating electricity, as shown in the dark green.
So the ones that are non-operational, your understanding is that those have not reached an in-service state yet. They're just, there's a contract, but it hasn't reached an in-service state.
That's correct.
Okay, that helps. Thank you.
Mr. Irizarry, please go ahead.
Yes, just to confirm what was just discussed. Yes, in terms of how they're defined, the operational contracts are the ones that are currently in service, and the non-operationals are the ones contracts that are projects that PREPA has contracted, but that have not yet been built.
Thank you, Mr. Irizarry. Any additional questions? All right, any comments from the commissioners at this point?
Not for me, Vanessa.
This is Commissioner Mateo. We heard some comments from PREPA representatives regarding the availability of information, either more detailed or compiled in a different format than the one that PREPA used and submitted in the instant case. And I would urge them to submit as soon as possible that information, so it is available for consideration by the Energy Bureau and by the general public before the filing of comments.
Yes, we'll get that information to the Energy Bureau as soon as possible. As soon as it's provided to us, we'll submit it to the Energy Bureau.
Thank you, Attorney Marrero. All right. Any other comments or questions that attendants may have now? All right. Well, I want to thank everyone for their participation during this morning and this technical conference. As Commissioner Mateo mentioned earlier, I just want to go ahead and mention again the procedural calendar that was established for this proceeding. For January 29th, we have the filing of comments by PREPA, LUMA, the general public, and stakeholders regarding the metrics that were reported by, and the data that was reported by PREPA. On February 10, 2021, we have the filing of replies to the comments received on or before January 29th. For February 17, 2021, we have a technical conference for the general public and stakeholders to provide input regarding the file comments. And then on February 24th, we have the filing of comments regarding the information presented during the February 17th technical conference. Any stakeholder or a person that wishes to participate at the technical conference to be held on February 17th can write an email to secretaria@energia.pr.gov to request a turn, or call the Energy Bureau's clerk at 787-523-6262. Again, I want to thank everyone for their participation today, and we are going to end today. Yeah.
Vanessa, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Is this presentation going to be available in the docket?
Yes, we are going to work on that and to upload the presentation that was given today to the docket.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. So thank you everyone for your participation today. And being 11:14 in the morning, we are going to end today's technical conference. Again, thank you everyone for your participation and have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice day.